What is up, DTube Steam blockchain? So today I want to do a video talking a little bit and my views on XRP versus HEX versus Dogecoin. The reason why I picked these is because, well, HEX is pretty obvious because everyone is talking about it, and it's kind of fun to run some numbers. And XRP is kind of fun because it's kind of up there and has a high supply. Dogecoin also very fun to add into this comparison because has a high supply, over 100 billion from what I can see. So and HEX that might have a supply of 500 to 800 billion in first year. I'm not sure exactly how much, but you can say around that amount. So it's kind of interesting to compare these. Just for game theory wise, just math wise, and sort of run the numbers and like try to just look at it, not from a financial advisor perspective, but this whole industry is just speculation, you playing with numbers, right? So it's kind of fun to talk about these three coins here. So HEX is an Ethereum ERC20 token. XRP, as I understood, is just I'm not sure exactly. It is a public ledger, but what is their technology called? DLT or something, I think. Yeah, and Dogecoin, I'm not really sure what technology it's running on, but I think it's running on some Bitcoin fork or something like that. So if we just look at the numbers they are at right now, it's kind of interesting. So if you take Dogecoin, for example, which is like a troll coin, the market cap of that already right now is $270 million. And that's just from a troll coin. Steam, as we know, has been over I think it was $2 billion market cap, at least over 1 billion market cap for a while before it dumped. So if Dogecoin already right now its value is at 5 times, it needs to do a 5x to go up to 1 cent, and it has, from what I can see, circulating supply 122 billion coins. So Dogecoin, which is a troll coin, can be up to 1 cent from 122 billion circulating supply. It just needs to go a 5x from here. And it only dumped, or it dumped 85%, or did it dump 75% or something? But it's like the chart is sort of following it many times. It's a little bit worse than Bitcoin, but it still sort of follows it in many ways. Even, and this is what the market is showing. And it's like $250 million on a troll coin called Dogecoin, 122 billion coins, and it's been up to, I think, almost 2 cents. Okay. Let's go over the latest stats on HEX, and let's sort of consider these numbers. Okay, so if you, for example, so the HEX recap from today, day 6, adoption amplifier, 5 million in ETH has been sent, and 3.6 billion HEX has been minted from that. The total supply, 10.6 billion HEX at the moment, but 8.6 billion is staked. So 80% of all the tokens are already staked and locked up. So yes, they can dump it if they exit emergency end stake, but then they're gonna have a big penalty from that, and 50% of those tokens are gonna go to the stakers. So probably most of those tokens, 8.6 billion that already are staked, are probably not going to be unstaked for a long period of time. So 2 billion HEX is the only amount that is circulating. So 80% staked, 20% is in circulation. So 2 billion coins in circulation right now. 2 billion. And Doge has, I guess, then 50 times more circulating supply. So keep those sort of numbers in mind. So yeah, 2 billion at the moment in circulation, and the price at the moment is which it's still like a price at the moment, especially because you only need 2 Bitcoin to set the price at any amount that you want, because it's a new coin. It's like, it doesn't even make sense to look at the USD price, because you can manipulate it now because it's a new coin. And yeah, it doesn't make any sense to look at it first year when all the option amplifier is going. But at the moment, the price on the market from this day was 0.003. Okay, so and the market cap on the 7 billion or on the 2 billion in circulation hex then is 627,000, which really makes sense, because that's usually what coins begins at when it's something that's brand new. So I did some. So this is very interesting, right? So in a year from now, like if we just play with the numbers, it seems as if 80% are going to be staked, the circulating supply may be anywhere between 30, and it doesn't even have to be in this range, but it can be anywhere between like 30 billion circulating supply up to 100 billion circulating supply, and most of those other tokens are probably going to be staked and locked up. So in many ways, it sort of is going to be lower than Dogecoin. And the very interesting aspect here is, of course, that if Dogecoin can go up to 2 cents on 100 billion circulating supply, 2 cents, and with Dogecoin, you don't get more Dogecoin. Like if you're holding Dogecoin, you don't get more if you lock up your Dogecoin. You're not going to get more Dogecoin if you lock them up for, and I'm not even sure if you can lock your Dogecoin in their blockchain. But if you lock them up for a year, it's not like you're going to end up with more Dogecoin. But if you lock up the HEX, you're going to get more HEX, because it's going to be paid as an interest when the stake is being ended. So already right there, you can see that it already has a very big competitive advantage compared to just Dogecoin. Because it's like, why would you hold Dogecoin if you can hold HEX and get more? Doesn't really make any sense. So if already Dogecoin there can go up to almost 2 cents with 100 billion circulating supply, and just being a troll coin, that's kind of interesting, right? So HEX, if you're just looking at the numbers and everything, it clearly has a better game theory, okay? And it's gonna have less supply than the Doge. Now, people, this can of course change, of course. Maybe people stop staking their coins, but it doesn't seem like they would, because then they're not gonna get any rewards, and most people are probably gonna want the rewards. So I sort of ran the numbers also. I think around, if you would say 50 billion hex in circulating supply, that's out on that is not locked up. I think 1 cent then would be $500 million in market cap, which is kind of interesting, right? Because I wouldn't say that's much. I mean, that's just twice of what Doge is having right now, and Doge is not doing anything. So in many ways, you could say that. I mean, if you're just looking at it from a competitive product, I would say that it's at least, like, if you're just running some simple numbers, that HEX is like 10x more intelligent than Dogecoin. And then if you add that on, if you run those numbers, then if you would add if you would have 2 cents almost that Dogecoin reached, and if HEX is 10x better, then that would be 20 cents. Just from that, from that kind of viewpoint, which is very interesting. So let's bring in XRP. So XRP, I think they have around, let's see, how many coins do they have? So I'm gonna go in the browser. So you heard what I said there, okay? 10 cents. No, 20 cents. If it would be 10x the all-time high of Doge. And I don't think Doge exactly reached 2 cents, maybe 0.017 or something like that. But yeah, so I said 20 cents, okay? Now, let's take a look at XRP. So XRP total supply 99 billion, circulating supply 43 billion, and a price of 22 cents. It's a round number that I said. Like, if something would be like 10x better than Doge, you would sort of end up around that place. So this is kind of interesting. So if you're looking at XRP, they have a bunch of, with Ripple, they have a bunch of cool technology, and they're doing cool things, XRapid and all this, and the technology seems to sort of work, right? But it seems like they mainly are going to focus on banks, and for the average person, it's like they probably just want to get like a coin that they are getting interest on, and you can't really get that with XRP. Like, if you're holding XRP, you're not going to get more. So it's like, so why would someone hold XRP when they can hold HEX? Huh? Because so let's try to go over this. So when I'm looking at like people that are holding XRP, like people, they seem to mainly be interested in getting mad gains, getting mad return on investment, right? But you're not getting interest on your XRP. And it's not just that, like maybe XRP and Ripple, maybe they do something amazing with banks, but I still don't understand why that would pump, or maybe, or no, but I don't understand for the average people that are sort of getting something. Maybe they're getting XRP and believe it's gonna pump or something like that. And maybe it will, but why would it? If Ripple mainly is focusing on banks, and if the main value, like the idea I think with XRP is like that people are going to do massive transactions, and that all the value is going to be in the fees, right? So I don't think they're really that focused on being a store of value. Maybe they are, but you still have this problem of, yeah, XRP can probably go up a lot, like because it already has done in the past. But in terms of store of value, people can always, people in theory can always dump XRP on you, because the coins, as I understand, they're not really locked up, and you so the market can dump anytime, like any holder can dump on you. While in HEX, people are sort of locking up their tokens, and people sort of seeing, or people can see if someone programs it, so people can see when someone ends their stake. So you can sort of get an idea of when new coins are sort of coming out, and it may make it so it becomes less volatile, that less people are doing like buying, selling, buying, selling, buying, selling, and that they're more just making interest trustlessly in a smart contract, and that they, yeah, it seems to be making more sense for the average person then to be more into that, right? So maybe XRP also becomes a massive store of value, and we can probably have many of those. We could probably have many stores of value, okay? So because the market is so big. But it's kind of fun to look at this, how with the XRP currently circulating supply 22 cents, and when I ran the numbers there, something would be 10x Doge all-time high, then it would also end up sort of around that. But my main concern with XRP is that it seems like people are using it more as that they want to earn a lot of XRP and then they want to sell it instantly. While with HEX, it feels like more that people are looking at it. Oh, I don't want to do that right now. I'm locking up for 1 year, 2 years, or a longer time period. So, for example, if the price goes up a lot, you're probably going to have a lot of, like, let's say XRP goes up a lot, you're probably instantly going to have a lot of people that instantly are starting to sell. While if HEX would sort of go up in value, and a person looks at their stake and it's like, oh, I can't really sell right now because I am locked up. I'm locked up for 2 years. So it's like they can look at the market and like go up and stuff like that. And what maybe happens then is instead of them instantly exiting the game, they maybe tell their friends about it. Like, I'm making a little bit more value here. Yeah, I can't really sell right now, but it's gone up a lot. While with XRP, it seems more as instantly as it would go up, you would get a lot of hype, and then a lot of people would sell, and then you sort of get a slowdown of the fun. So we have seen a lot of times in this industry when a lot of fun stuff starts to happen, but the main problem has always been that people can dump on you all the time. And that's sort of the game theory wise, Hex is sort of trying to solve that by making a system where people game theory wise lock up their coins, and sure, they can end it earlier, but then they get penalized. And then even if people would dump, then people know that a lot of those coins, even if you dump on the market, but those coins, when they're coming after the smart contract, a lot of those coins are going to the stakers, which it should reward. Like, it should reward people that are staking a long period of time, right? So it's kind of interesting, right? It's like when you run the numbers, it's quite exciting. It's quite exciting. So, and yeah, really that main point, which is very interesting, that XRP is talking a lot about, I think, talking a lot about fast transactions. We need super fast transactions. But do most people really care about that, or is that even going to be used? Or are people mainly using it for store of value? And if you were just looking at store of value, it seems, if you're just looking at it logically and sensibly, it seems as it seems like HEX is better for the average person. It seems like it's way, way better when you're just looking at it. So it's very, very interesting. So if you have an amazing story, so if we're going to have this artificial intelligence and all these systems that creates a lot of value, then I don't really see a lot of people themselves be so concerned about sending value around themselves. And then it seems like you want really the best store of value. And the main thing then is make so people don't dump like crazy. Or make a system where if a dump would happen, a lot of tokens already would go in the smart contract to people that are staying inside. So it's really interesting, right? And it's also very fun to look at it from exponential terms. So, for example, if you look at HEX, if it would go up in value a lot, it would in many ways exponentially, I think, be better than XRP, because the amounts, like even if you just make a few percent per year back or more in HEX, that still is like way, way better than having a third party, or having to be in a like a decentralized, or even in an exchange, like centralized exchange or whatever. That is way more, like, it seems like it's way better to just be in a smart contract than trying to find some XRP wallet or whatever. So I think we can design better systems all the time. And if you're looking at like the top, like right now, it's mainly speculation in this industry, and everyone's sort of trying to figure out like what is the best store of value, what is the best store of value. But there has been a lot of hype around that. No, we don't really need so much store of value. We need the TPS, the transactions. But if nobody's really using it, it's like, do we really need it so much? So it's very, very fascinating to look at things from a game theory perspective. So we're probably going to keep expanding, keep making better systems. So another kind of fun aspect here is, so HEX has higher supply than XRP and Dogecoin and some other coins. And that actually may be good if we are moving up to like dollars in value. Then, for example, if you want to move around XRP or Dogecoin or something else that has maybe below 100 billion or around 100 billion, you have to deal with a lot of 0.0001 users we have in the Bitcoin right now with 21 million supply. How you have to deal with, oh, you have to transfer 0.00001 and it may actually be annoying for the average person. Another fun number that you can run is, for example, if you divide the Bitcoin value at the moment, $7,500, you divide that by around 50,000, you get around 15 cents. That's also a very, very interesting number. So I think that Bitcoin has, or I think the HEX has around 37,500 larger supply than Bitcoin. So if I would run that number, 30,700 or 37,500, I get 20 cents again. So when you're running the numbers of what in theory the value of HEX then could be, it seems to be ending up around 10 cents, 20 cents. If you're comparing it, if it would have the value in the market as it should have relative to other sort of offerings at the moment, and that no other, like, yeah, you can't earn more XRP on your XRP, you can't earn more Dogecoin on your Dogecoin, you can't earn more Bitcoin on your Bitcoin unless you involve a third party, which is risky, and try to make some more value there. But then you have to move the value around, so you have to separate the value maybe from your own smart contract or your own wallet, and you have to put it somewhere else. And it seems like it's just more hassle when you can use a smart contract that does all of that without the nonsense. So it's kind of fun. It's kind of fun to run the numbers. And when you're looking at it from a marketing perspective, also how HEX seems to be way more street smart and seems to be appealing more to people making moves. And it seems to be have more of a vibrant community compared to a lot of other communities in this industry. And it seems like they want to be more rebel-like, or actually looking at stuff and making more real change. Instead of a lot of these other coins, maybe they appeal a little bit more to the status quo. And for example, Bitcoin is still cool, XRP is still cool, but maybe we can do something way better. Okay, like better technology, and maybe it can come in and rise up fast. We've seen that happen in the past. Binance Coin, Ethereum, XRP also went up super fast. So a lot of coins, like it's a very young industry, so a lot of coins are gonna pump like crazy if they have like a real market or a real use case, and if they're providing something that people desire. And if you're looking at the Ethereum people have sent, clearly someone is sort of interested, right? So that is what I want to talk a little bit about today. So I love numbers. I love to run numbers. I love to look at different coins. I like to look at different potential business models, and I know that there's so much stuff that has been unexplored in this industry, and it's going to be so fascinating to follow it. So I may do more videos like this, just talking about a few and talking a little bit about some thoughts that I have about it, and it's kind of like a crazy industry, right? Because stuff can really go, it can go low, it can go high, nobody knows. So it's like a free market where people, it can do a lot of stuff, right? So that's why it's sort of interesting to sort of look at. And I want to get to a point where if I find the best game theory system, then I want to use that system. And that's also one of the reasons why I'm still using Steam blockchain, because I think still to this day is the best game theory in terms of social media plus crypto, and no other competitor comes even close. So game theory wise, we can have many interesting game theory wise that satisfies different markets and industries, and then you can combine all these with cross chains and experiment further and sort of see what works and what doesn't work, what has an industry, what doesn't have an industry, and yeah. So in this video I just want to talk a little bit about XRP versus HEX versus Dogecoin, and yeah, it's fun to run the numbers. Like, it's fun to not run the numbers. It's fun that you have all these communities that are very, very passionate about their own sort of niche. So I love brands. Like, I love different cool brands and different cool niche communities, and see if you can do something amazing. And if you can educate people, you have to have a little bit of fun. You have to play around with brands. You have to try new things. You have to try different game theories. Um, yeah. So that is what I want to talk a little bit about today. Have a great day, DTube and Steam blockchain. Bye bye.